Hey, check this out. Noble Gold, one of the sponsors of our show, has just been picked by Consumer Affairs, the rating agency, as the overall #1 gold IRA company in the US. Talk to the team today if you're thinking of precious metals. And if you're quick, they're giving away an incredible 1/10 ounce American Eagle Gold proof coin with every qualifying IRA or 401k rollover. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold. Call the team now at 877-646-5347 to find out more, or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Hey Inspire Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for liking, for sharing, and for subscribing to our channel and hitting the notifications button so you get notified about new videos all the time. All right, let's dive right into it. Are we actually in the final political showdown here in America? It has been prophesized for this time that we will have two presidents. For most people, it most certainly feels that way, although I can't tell you exactly what that one guy, the cloned guy, Biden guy, what he's might be the president of, maybe the United States nursing homes, I don't know. But at any rate, so with the recent FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago, that's the residence of President Trump, we have seen a huge alert going off all over the country, all political spectrums. It has become clear that this was definitely a very shot that backfired. But let's go rewind to 2015 or 2016, because so many people in this community, so many people worldwide are triggered when they see Trump's face or when they hear his name. And why is that? Now, what happened in 2015, as soon as he announced that he was going to run for president, the media began doing something very specifically and on purpose. So what they did, they deviated and steered away from how they used to report on him as being a celebrity and a real estate tycoon and very positive reporting to very extremely fear-based. And what they did is, because people didn't understand what was going on at the time, they kept triggering our reptilian brains, our fight-or-flight brains, and kept triggering a fear, worry, and panic-based response. So now so many people are simply programmed, and they don't have the ability to actually objectively look at what this presidency means and has been meaning for this country and for the world. Now let's put one thing out in the open. I do not believe that Trump is a savior. I also don't believe he is the villain. What I do believe is that he's the catalyst for a movement that has gone from the shadows to the mainstream, the awakening movement. For the first time, we have seen a plethora of topics actually being discussed in the mainstream. We've actually seen things being reported on because they couldn't be ignored because he talked about them. Now, to me, this is so important because we need to start looking at this from a completely different standpoint. Number one, if the dark side can use people for their purposes, well, so can the light side, so can the good side, so can the creator. So it's really important to understand that too. But what is more important is what this presidency has triggered and what it continues to trigger moving forward. This movement that we feel in America has stepped out of a uniparty system where we truly had a uniparty, and it's still in place. Democrats, Republicans, it's one party. The establishment of that party is exactly the same. They have the exact same goals. They do the exact same things. There was never a difference, and they were never working for the people. But out of one party, out of the Republican Party, a movement has come out, which people call a Patriot Movement or the Maga movement. And it is really everyday Americans now stepping into the field of action. They go into political positions. They run for mayor. They run for governor. They run for congressman. They go into the school boards. They actually become citizen journalists. It is the biggest activation we have seen in this country. And as such, this is a wonderful catalyst for change and for awakening. And it will continue to be so for the next years, especially the next months now. The final showdown that's happening now is a lot of people are asking the question, will there be a return of Trump as the official president? I do believe so. Whether that's going to happen before 2024, I don't know. Truth be told, we can't even discuss this with you here because the guidelines of this platform don't allow us to question anything regarding the 2020 official election results. So we can't talk about that. What we can tell you is there's a very interested and well-researched theory out there that's called Devolution by a guy that calls himself Patel Patriot, and we'll put the link in a video description. Go and read it for yourself. It's a lot of articles, a lot of executive orders, legal language. It's very, very well researched, and I would encourage you to take it, read it, make up your own mind. It's really, really, really interesting if you play this through in your mind. What I do believe is even more important is that for the first time, we have an authentic movement that is actually led by the people. The problem is, of course, that one side, and it appears to be a minority, views Trump as a figurehead villain, as the devil himself. The other side oftentimes views him as a savior figure, as the Ubermensch, and I believe both sides are wrong in this. As I said, a catalyst, that's how we need to look at this. And the catalyst is the breaking of all taboos, the breaking down of all barriers when it comes to information. It has triggered a spiritual awakening in this country and worldwide. It has triggered a political awakening in this country and worldwide. It has also triggered a community awakening in this country and worldwide, because people have built communities online, offline, are talking to each other, are coming together, are unifying more. Of course, there's a great divide between the two political spectrums that we're looking at, but this is an artificial divide that really doesn't need to be there. It's something that has been created on purpose to keep the population divided. So the final showdown now, the question is, how long can they keep this clone puppet in the position where he's in, not knowing who he is, where he is, what he says, looking different every day, a lot of CGI, a lot of green screen, a lot of mistakes there, probably on purpose. What's the next step going to be? There's interesting theories that if Biden, for some reason, steps down as a resident, or he is being stepped down, or whatever happens to him, of course, the next down in line would be Kamala Harris, but there are questions around eligibility. We can't verify that. Of course, then the next person in line would be Nancy Pelosi. And then there's a question of the midterms coming up, a new Speaker of the House, which would then be the next in line. So very, very interesting theories. But more important than the theories is becoming part of an authentic movement that co-creates a new future. And that's important to me. I would love to see this Patriot Maga crowd, and Maga stands for Make America Great Again. I don't really care if you like the name or not. It isn't really as important as what the people are doing. It is finally stepping up for the core values, for family, for morals again. We need to work on that all. And believe me, I have spent some time with these people in various places, been at rallies and just communicated and talked. Some of the best people with their heart in the right place. I haven't met a single racist. I haven't met a single phobist. Actually, it's a lot. The philosophy here is live and let live. So I'm a huge fan of a movement that the people carry. And I also see that this movement is fairly open to expanding into greater understanding spiritually, politically, economically, and all of that. So I am a fan of this. I'm not saying it's 100% right, this is how it should go. What I'm saying is I think we're on the track of actually chasing down the truth, and that's important. So as such, I believe we should support it. Also, more importantly, do what you can in your own community. Step in. We keep talking about this. It's going to be interesting what's about to happen here, what's about to happen worldwide. The lines in the sand, we're all for individual freedom. We're all for individual development. And so many of us simply reject the Great Reset, reject this notion of top-down centralized globalism, and we'll do anything in our power to bring about a better future that doesn't include the World Economic Forum, that doesn't include a new world order, that doesn't include this evil cabal, but that includes real, authentic, organic human beings and people. All right, Inspired Tribe, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. We love you, we appreciate you, and we'll be back with you again very, very soon.